Da, 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 da.
Yay!
Yay, we made it.
Yeah, welcome, Sunny. Hi, how are you?
Happy Friday.
Yes, it is Friday, right?
It
Wow,
is Friday, thank goodness.
I know. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and clear our space and energy and let's get started.
Sounds good.
Happy Friday.
Hi, Alicia.
Hello, honey.
We are on the growing side of the Virgo full moon over on the West Coast. It'll be about 4:30 in the morning for you. And then here on the East Coast, it'll be more like 7:30 a.m. So we're growing with the tides here this evening for this chat. And Virgo is mutable earth. It is represented by the fair maiden or the virgin. And it's typically known for being the perfectionist, liking things in order. Uh, One of the little loving jokes about Virgoian energy is they make lists of lists. I have Mars in Virgo, and I make lists of lists of lists. I'm pretty fanatical about my list of lists, and nothing's more satisfying than marking things off the list.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, Virgo rules the sixth house. This is where we find our health condition. It's where we find what your natural talents are to do for your business. 10th house is where you actually do your profession. Sixth house is what you do. It's the energy that rules healers, nurses, any kind of healthcare industry, dietitians, nutritionists. So it's very focused on health and your diet, and your body is your temple is a very Virgoian adage. And so during the full moon, you might find yourself more focused on your diet and condition of your body or a health condition that you're dealing with. And it's an earth energy. So one of the, you know, wise old um, beliefs is simply walking barefoot on the earth helps with your chakra grid. Um, Virgo is the solar plexus chakra, which is the center of our power. So it's a very important energy. And of course, a full moon is like a completion of a cycle. Um, this full moon is conjunct Mercury, and I'm sorry, it's conjunct the sun, which is opposite the moon. So it's a Mercury Sun conjunction during the full moon. And Mercury Sun conjunctions can make us a little fuzzy. It can make our thoughts one way in our mind, but they don't come out of our mouth the way we're thinking it. So, and so in Virgo, that can be a little frustrating because Virgo likes to have everything perfect and
Mm-hmm.
in order. And so that's kind of a frustrating energy right there to have Mercury conjunct the sun. Um, and that would be in Pisces. So that also brings in the psychic element. That brings in the ruler of Neptune. And I don't know if anyone else here has had crazy dreams lately, but I tell you what, I've had crazy dreams. People at work have talked about crazy dreams. I have to share with the group this one weird dream, and I would love for anyone in the chat to chime in with an interpretation, or you. This was so weird. I don't know who it was. It was a man that I was talking to. It felt somewhat close or intimate, but I don't know who it was. It felt friendly. Um, and they were like bearded and talking. And I kept looking behind their head, and they had another mouth on the back of their head. So I woke up thinking that was two-faced, beware, or some kind of omen of beware of two faces, or someone being two-faced, or speaking out of both sides of their mouth. And as soon as I got off the elevator at my office, this girl walked by who I know and always seems really friendly. But in my head, I was like, she's the two-faced one. Don't say anything to her. I don't know that's anything at all. But that was the strangest dream, because I was looking in the back of his head. I was going like this. I was watching him talk, and then I was looking at the back of his head, and there was hair and everything, but there was this mouth talking. It was the weirdest thing. That's so Neptune. Weird dreams like that are very Neptune.
Damn, I think you topped it off this week about the weird dreams, because I haven't had anything like that.
That was weird. That was really weird. And Pisces, Neptune is still in its home of Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we have Mercury and the Sun there for a little while. And, Mercury is how our mind works. So anything weird, it also rules water, and flood water. And what is this sturdy kid? Hello. I reconnected a Virgo recently. Told me he is going to need a case of beer and cowboy boots. Basically, confessed that he wants to date me. Has not made official. I'm assuming after all the talk that he is going to make it. Oh, well, that sounds like a good adventure.
I know, a case of beer and some
And
cowboy
some
boots.
and maybe some country music and line dancing. That sounds like a good plan.
All right, well, let us know.
So talking about Virgo lovers, you bring that up. I'll share what I've been taught or whatever.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So for Virgo men, the joke is that if their lover slurps their cereal, it's a real turnoff. So they
Yes.
tend to be critical
Yes.
of their partner's habits like that. Eating
Yes.
habits, manners. Yeah. Picky, picky, picky. Yeah. So, not to make you feel self-conscious or anything, and please be yourself and completely natural.
I'll just share a little story. Okay.
Please.
Female version, Virgo.
Okay.
My mama is a Virgo, and she always tell me, could you please shut your mouth when you're chewing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, my mouth is closed. I can
Right.
hear you. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah. Yeah. That's a pet peeve of Virgo.
yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
like, how do I eat?
Right. Right. In the dark, in the corner, in the closet.
Yeah, so I think, in terms of the male female, they both are very similar with the whole chewing food and,
Yeah.
slurping and whatever else, because, yeah.
Don't be nervous. I shouldn't have said anything. Just be yourself. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
So,
Virgo is, that's a tough one.
it's the critic, right? They can be very critical, and it stems even within themselves. They're critical of themselves, and it sort of
Right.
gets personified onto others. When you think about, it's a deeply spiritual energy. If you take it back a few centuries into folklore mythology, that virgin stems to the Vestal virgins, who were the keepers of the eternal flame. So, as mythology would have, the Vestal virgins were just that. They were virgins committed in their life to purity and keeping an eternal flame burning. So fire to mankind in the beginning was very powerful.
Mhm.
So their job to keep the flame burning was extremely high stature in the society or in the hierarchy of the society.
Mhm.
So purity is a big thing that stems to their food and dietary habits. They tend to be more particular about health food and uh, what they eat, and that makes them sometimes critical of their partners and how their habits are. So if you have, kind of sloppy partner, that might be a bone of contention over a romantic dinner.
I would
And
say that would be a challenge.
well, and I guess what might be a lesson to learn through it all is to apply laughter and humor
Mhm.
at, human nature, to recognize our, yes, and very analytical.
Mhm.
If you wanted to shop for a Virgo, getting them things like periodicals or journals, things to help keep them organized, are very um, natural gifts to give Virgo.
I wanna say paper.
I had an aunt who was a Virgo. She was my mom's younger sister. And um, she took being picky or the perfectionist to the extreme of procrastination. She would be so particular, so picky that she never do anything
Mhm.
because it was never perfect enough.
Right.
And so that's what Virgo has to be aware of, is that they're not stunting themselves by putting up these blocks of um, things aren't perfect. And the lesson there is to learn that there is no such thing as perfection. So, but Earth mutable, generally, they're very easy to get along with. Sort of a laid back nature when you get away from all of the analysis, or what do they say, analysis paralysis. And so it doesn't surprise me that he would help you quit smoking, because smoking is, again, one of those health things. And Virgo is very aware of state of health. A lot of Virgos are in healthcare as a career. They're healers. I think I said that already, but they like things to be logical, and that might be kind of challenging in a certain mixture we're in with this full moon, because Mercury holding hands with the sun makes that energy fuzzy. So it's kind of hard to be particular, pinning things down exactly. And then the Saturn that's in Pisces is making a semi-sextile to Venus in Libra. And semi-sextiles are not major aspects. It's more of attitude. It's more of, a nature of a feeling. And Saturn, Venus is could bring maturity to a romantic situation. It could be a romantic situation with an older person. Saturn is often considered like a very mature type of partner or father figure. Uh, in the case that a mother was more authoritative in your life, then Saturn can be the mother. It's whichever parent was the most authoritative. And Saturn's been in Pisces a while. It'll remain there a while. And that is the healer energy. That is bringing healing to individuals bringing healing to mankind, that is innovating healthcare processes, finding new ways to heal. Virgo and uh, we have within the first of the week, um, we have an aspect to Jupiter. What was that? That was, where did I see Jupiter was being opposed by, oh, that's the last day of the month, leap year day, or whatever. Well, that brings in agriculture and how we actually produce food. So, you'll see more science about how they're trying to develop like natural microorganisms to reintroduce into soils that have been over farmed or damaged by, say, testing, testing of weapons or toxic chemicals. Um, so this is going to herald in a phase of new innovation with the state of our health. And so for hospital workers and EMTs, I would think this weekend's full moon would have a lot going on. I was telling you my neighbor fell and we waited like 30 minutes for an ambulance last night. And the hospital we wanted her to go to couldn't accept her. They were too backed up. So she had to be diverted to another hospital. So there's this combination in the healthcare industry that we'll be dealing with about, number one, it being underserved, not enough people to go around to handle the need. So that will make people turn back to like grandma's old almanac and natural healing ideas, natural, like, I don't know if you've noticed, but maybe it's just my feed, but I've been seeing a lot of natural health benefits from castor oil. So my dad would have been 99 years old this week. He was a Pisces and his birthday was the other day. He died when he was 75. But when he would talk about growing up, which he was born in 1925, when he talked about growing up, he was one of the kids that his mother put a spoon of castor oil down his throat every morning. That was their tonic, so to speak. That's what they believed kept viruses and bacteria at bay. It kept their immune system strong. So you might see a resurgence of the uses of natural
Well,
household things like that.
yeah, so castor oil, isn't it very thick, like syrupy?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
How the heck do you swallow that thing?
It's not good. I mean, it tastes nasty.
I mean, but does it go down? Like, how does it go
Mhm.
down? Like, I
Yeah,
don't understand.
yeah, it does. It
Oh,
just,
okay.
it's just not. It's kind of like taking a bad tasting cough syrup or something. A thick. It's, yeah, but that was their belief. That's how he grew up, and that's
Mm.
how, you know, we're talking, a generation that'd be 100 years old right now, basically, and what his mother did. So his mother would be, 150, 60, 70 years old. So you're talking about 200 years ago. And
Mm.
I don't know why that. Maybe my dad's confirming that with the flashing light. What do you think? There's nothing in my room flashing, so I don't know
Oh, I
what.
thought you were having a party.
No, but I do. My dad has a great sense of humor, and for him to say yes, that tasted horrible, and be like, oh yes, it was horrible. So yeah, so you might, if you're ailing from skin issues or any kind of like allergy or cold, or, just feeling a little under the weather, you
Mm.
might just spend some time investigating natural healing. The herbs, garlic is another big one, oregano oil. So when you think about what did people do 200 years ago, um, I think we may see a resurgence of some of those older folklore types of healing modems, uh, out of wanting to be more natural and wanting to be healthier, but also because the failings of our medical industry, right?
Mm.
So then we've got an interesting cluster in Aquarius. That's Pluto, Mars, and Venus in Aquarius. That is a lot of energy. That is, um, so we know Mars and Venus is generally relationships. Pluto brings renovation, renewal, rebirth. It can tear down, it can rebuild, it can end, it can begin. But Pluto's um, lesson to us is the life, death, life cycle in all of nature. So in Aquarius, Venus, Mars could be an eccentric relationship. It could be something unconventional and evolutionary. It could be something different than you've had in your life before. It could be uh, teleportation. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which brings in that whole space age element of let's see, didn't we land a rocket on the moon supposedly today? I mean, that was the news. I don't know that I believe it.
Yeah, I saw a little tidbit, like, since the 1970s, it's the first time that they went to moon. I think it's a lot of horse shit, but,
I do too. I do
I'm
too.
like,
I'm
really?
glad you said that because I I get so tired of the
So you mean to tell me we're trying to go to Mars, but we haven't been to the moon and since then? Like, come
I
on.
know, I know, I know. And
Uh,
so also, Aquarius, Pluto, Mars, Venus, and Aquarius clustered up like that for the next couple of weeks. Um, that is all this stuff too. You're seeing so much about alien species. I know twice this week I've caught some glimmer of unknown aquatic animals, like where they find the fossils of
mhm.
something that is extinct. Or there was some clip about this weird looking lizard combination fish thing someone caught on their fishing line, and it looked prehistoric. So all of that Jacques Cousteau kind of underwater discovery and what's in the deep, murky bottom of the ocean, and Loch Ness Monster, and, you know, mythologies like that would also be another headline grabber, especially when you've got this whole Neptunian kind of floodwaters, and floodwaters can and storms can change the ocean bottoms, which can unearth discoveries that hadn't been discovered before.
Mm.
So I think that the Pluto, Mars, Venus, Aquarius in a nutshell might be about new, unusual discoveries. And when you talk about things like the lost city of Atlantis being underwater, but at one time it was above water. So that to me brings in the world and the deep, dark depths of the oceans.
Did
So,
you did you hear So I just watched a little episode. It's by a gentleman that I follow. He's an anthropologist. His name is Robert Seffer. So he came out with like Antarctica and like, like the inner earth
Yes.
situation and like why are the Germans so interested in Antarctica? And as you know, like the Germans actually developed the U-boat
Yeah.
where they have like that technology even at the time when I guess this was during World War II or I don't know
Yes.
exactly. So
Late
so basically
30s, early 40s.
yeah, so it was around that time where they also had, different operations that were going on. And so, like, for whatever reason, the Germans always were known to have like this new age technology.
Yeah.
But why on earth are they going to Antarctica? And so basically, what they said was that there was actually underground tunnels
Right. Right.
inside Antarctica, and you wouldn't know this, but on the outside it's cold and frosty. But deep down inside, there's actually melting waters. It's actually warm on the inside, and there's a lot of like sea life and vegetation, from what I know. And so yeah, so basically, I think like the world signed a treaty to like not claim or do
Right.
anything except for scientific experiments. Scientific, right?
Right. I saw something on Antarctica too recently. There's
Yeah.
a lot of mystery about that.
Yeah, because, as far as we know, it's been unscathed, untouched. Nobody talks about it. It's hands
Different
off.
species.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, there's obviously people going down there and doing X, Y, and
Right.
Z. And I think recently I heard that Iran uh, did not sign the treaty, and they said that they have like, some kind of land down there, and they want
Yes.
to like raise an army, but also for scientific reasons. I was like,
Well,
okay.
and not too far off from that point, it are supposedly underground vaults of preserved vegetable and fruit seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if there were any kind of nuclear fallout, that there is somewhere
Yeah.
where there are safe seeds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this thing it has like all the logistics of like mountain. You know how like when people plan to have a base,
Yeah,
but it's very clandestine, right? Like
right.
they have like all the different natural things to protect them for whatever reason. So
It's
this would
just
be
like that
perfect.
CERN portal. It's in
Mm-hmm.
Switzerland, I think, and they've connected that with time travel and the collapsing of timelines and how time can be manipulated. And
Well, that was the other thing too, because apparently there's like this portal or technology that's down there where they can go from North Pole to South Pole in
right,
like an instant.
like a wormhole.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And when I was talking about invention of microorganisms to rebirth or re-energize soils, worm farms are part of that because worms
Oh.
aerate soil naturally.
Mhm.
So that's an interesting analogy. And that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I saw on this Antiques Roadshow, this lady had brought in this really old book from like 1880s, and it had to do with the Louisiana area of like the New Orleans land purchase. Her dad had been some kind of diplomat and helped families with their estates. And one of the sons had given him this book, and it sets out like laws that were trying to be implemented on that area. And in the top of the book was this weird curve, and the appraiser pointed out and said, and that's a worm, that's a bookworm. So, when you've
Oh.
heard that saying, when you read a lot, you're a bookworm. Well,
Yeah.
the paper was made from a cotton process, right? And so they had these little, little divot things in the paper, and the guy kind of laughed. He said, "Yeah, that's where there was a bookworm." So, Virgo rules small animals. So isn't it funny that we're talking about small animals as well?
Mhm. Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, so that's this weekend, and by Monday, the moon is going to be making a trine to Pluto. So that's very positive. Trines help us to understand a lot of those mysterious, secretive kinds of Pluto things. So bringing light to some of these secrets might be more and more on trend.
Mhm.
And also on Monday, we've got the moon making an opposition to Neptune. Oppositions are another thing that it breaks energy up, right? So it usually, it can be shocking, it can be mysterious. With it being Neptune, it could be something involving um, toxicity, uh, pharmaceuticals, the oil industry. Um, I was just bemoaning recently about, how come one week gas can be one price, and then within a few days it drops 30 cents? I mean, there's just no rhyme or reason why the prices fluctuate like they do. It's obviously some kind of manipulation, and a trine um, to Pluto in opposition to Neptune at the first of the week could break loose maybe some of that mystery. We can hope for it anyway.
Let me ask you something. I know this might be a little off topic, but were you a part of any kind of outage of like cell phone service?
That is
Um,
so weird. A friend of mine and I were just talking about this a couple of hours ago.
mhm.
It didn't, that had to do with AT&T, and it
Okay.
didn't affect me personally. But what we were talking about is, she brought it up that she had heard it. And I said, well, I was thinking recently, I still have a landline. I still have an old fashioned landline.
Mhm.
Um, it's not hard to keep, and it just certain people that are old family friends, that's the number that they know. They don't know cell numbers. And so I've just always kept it, and she's always kept hers. But recently I was thinking, I don't know why I have this. A lot of the people that used to use it are dead, and if I have a landline, the only way it would be any good in an outage is to call someone else with a landline, right? So
Mhm.
we were laughing about, well, at least we're two people that we know we could talk to each other in an outage because we each have a landline. And it was not 15 minutes later, I'm flipping through channels, and the local news had a report about the return of the landline. That,
Wow, really?
yeah, like in 2003, 95% of households still had landlines, and now it's 25%. And I do insurance work as a part-time job, and a lot of that is still faxed. So
Mhm.
I have a dedicated fax line. So it does still, I still use it for business. I mean, you can scan things and upload it, but sometimes it's just easier to stick it through a fax. And there's always been that sort of security idea about faxing being more secure than over the internet. So who knows? I don't know the answer to that. But my point is, it's like, isn't that interesting? Bringing back something again from the past.
I had a discussion with this with my maintenance guy. And basically, I told him, I said, well, I traded up my landline for a cell phone because they gave it to me for free. and it was a business phone, and it's $15 a month. I said, you can't beat that. The freaking landline was like $25 a month, or 25 or $35 a month. And so naturally, that's like less than the cell phone. And plus you get a free phone. But
Right.
then I told him, I said, if all the cell phone towers went down and the service wasn't working, then the thing that would be the most reliable is the landline.
It's weird that way, isn't it? That's one of the lessons of Pluto that we're talking about, is the life, death, life cycle in all things.
Mm.
So about the time you think maybe a landline is dead and in the past, well, it might just have a rebirth, you know?
I would say that, yeah, because the cell phone stuff is not there could be an outage.
I
And
know it was probably like 2006. We had a really bad hurricane through this area, and my landline was the only thing that worked.
right.
And
Right.
again, it only works with another person who has a landline at the other end. But I was thinking more emergency wise, like if you needed to try to reach, you know, 911 or something, you could maybe reach an.
That's the important thing. Yeah.
My a
My phone
license,
my cell phone went down. Like, who do you call 911?
well, the license plate in front of me this morning was 9111. So
Oh.
it's nine with three ones. And I kept looking at it like, hmm, is that like accentuating the 911? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, by Tuesday, the moon is going to be making a trine to the Mars and Venus. That, like right now, that Mars and Venus is having conjunction with Pluto. So it'll pass over Pluto and keep moving forward. And by Tuesday, it'll be making a trine to the moon, which that is a much easier energy. So this weekend, if you're real dialed into having a lot of well played plans, logical things, and you're trying to pin down things, you might be a little frustrated under this energy. But by that Tuesday, when Venus and Mars are in a much more positive aspect to the moon, that will bring ease to those personal
So,
plans.
in other words, this weekend, don't count on
Be
your
flexible.
plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be flexible and think about your diet and nutrition and your health. That's
Mm,
what Virgo wants us to do. Is your temple is your body is a temple. What you put in it, what you do to it, it affects everything on a molecular level. So that's what Virgo wants us to do, is focus on our health and our purity, our spirituality. So it's a deeply spiritual energy. When you stem it back to the Vestal virgins, and their only task in life is to keep the eternal flame burning. If you
mm.
meditate on that, that's a very profound spiritual concept there. If you just traced back what changed in humanity when fire was found and used in the hearth, right? To be able to sterilize, to be able to cook meat, to it brought the evolution of society forward. So, very interesting mental kind of thoughts there to meditate on. Um, I can't believe we're almost at the end of a month, and this is a leap year, right?
Mhm.
So on on Thursday is the 29th. That's leap day. And our moon will be in Scorpio. It will be making an opposition to Jupiter in Taurus. So that's where I think we might see um, more emphasis on agriculture, more emphasis on, it could bring up secrets about how food manufacturers manipulate. Scorpio can be a very manipulative energy and secretive. So, an opposition to it by a big planet like Jupiter could certainly expand our knowledge about like hormones injected in food, GMOs, all that manipulation that, finally, I think we're questioning whether or not that's been a good thing or not. And I think we're going to see even more and more of that this year, with this Aquarian kind of energy is the evolution of our agriculture and our well being in connection to, you know, how they always say in a grocery store, just stay on the perimeter, that there's nothing in the middle of that store that's good for you. But if you stay on the perimeter is where you have your produce and your more natural foods and the I guess for people dairy, but
Mhm.
that everything on the inside is more manipulated by artificial sweeteners, artificial colors and dyes and things like that.
Mhm.
Hi, Dad. My dad wants to be acknowledged tonight.
Hey, Daddy.
My dad he was a Virgo sun with a Pisces rising and an Aquarius moon.
Ah.
He was half Cherokee Indian, half Irish. He was tall and skinny, and he looked very Indian, and he could eat anything and never gain any weight. He was just
Mm.
always really skinny.
Mhm.
He had very brilliant blue eyes and dark hair, and he had a real quiet charm to him. And when I saw pictures of him young with my mom and everything, I mean, he was a very handsome man. As he grew old, he lost all of his hair and became bald and wrinkly. Which is, me coming up, I was kind of late in life, and me coming up, I always kind of saw my father as bald and wrinkly. But when I dig out pictures of him as a young man, he
Mhm.
was very, very striking.
Mhm.
And his and my mother's relationship, she was a Sag with a Scorpio rising and a Leo moon. They had a very, very deep love, but fiery love. I mean, they were definitely very connected. They stayed married for my mom died a few weeks before their 50th wedding anniversary,
Aw.
and they fought and they had hard times, but when it really got down to either one of them sick, you saw the love come between them. So I remember taking care of my dad. My mother had already passed, and I wanted to know about, their early life, like when they were young and met. He was back from the war, you know, and he could tell you in every detail what she was wearing the first time he ever met her, which was in a drugstore. At one of those drugstores where they have like the counter where you eat and they cook, right? That's where
Mhm.
they first met. And the demeanor that came over him in his 70s when he had met her, they were in their 20s. It was very, well, I'm trying to describe that Piscean Aquarian energy.
Mhm.
It was very fuzzy. It was very warm. And so, this energy that we're in, you might be very struck by someone you meet. Um, and Pisces can be very quiet, but, you know, when they do have something to say, it can be most profound. They're very psychic, right? So, clairsentient, audiosentient, all of those types of telepathy. Um, I feel like that's getting more keen under these energies for everyone. Um, I don't know if it's smartphones or if we are all getting more telepathic with each other, but I think we can all share experiences where, you know, you were thinking something or talking to someone about it, and then somehow someone knew, and they wouldn't have known other than to it to be some sort of telepathy.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
all of this kind of energy, we're leading up to the April 8th solar eclipse, a huge Jupiter conjunction in April. So we are in the sort of, how waves in the ocean build momentum. And this is where we are energetically with, we're building momentum. I believe it's March 10th. We'll have a new moon in Pisces. Again, more of that telepathic, psychic. People who never thought they were psychic or telepathic will have profound experiences. Um, one of the things about health and wanting to be the best we can be would be decalcification of the pineal gland, right? And so the more we can decalcify uh, that third eye, the more psychic we are. And more and more information has come out about how fluoride, for instance, calcifies the pineal gland. So
Mhm.
getting away from fluoride, getting away from those GMOs or manipulations. So I just think the whole theme this year is wanting to be more authentic, wanting to be healthier, um, being more trusting of your own intuition about your health, and not looking at the pharmaceuticals or the third parties to tell you what you need, but you figure it out in an intuitive, internal way. What's good for you, and
Mhm.
that all of that becomes more respected. Whereas, you know, that's what Aquarius does, is it makes people respect eccentricities in others, right? We look for that creative individuality. And so that's a very, very exciting time. Uh, I don't know if anyone knew this, in the folklore of leap day, leap year, that was believed to be when women would do more marriage proposals to men, that it was like women feeling that they had to wait too long to be proposed to, and some of the mythology around that extra day. Um, it's any year that's divisible by four, is how they determine it. And if you trace it way back to, say, the Egyptians, this was a way to try to sync up a calendar with the solar calendar. And during the Roman Empire, Julius Caesar is considered the father of leap year, because he actually created the 365-day, 12-month calendar. But there's actually like 365.24 days in a year. So that's how we get this sort of oddball year every 4 years. And so that was one of the little folklores about um, women propose to men on leap year.
Mm. It's really funny. My son, who is autistic, he's been saying this for a while now. He says March wedding.
Oh,
I'm like, wedding? What are you talking about, wedding? March wedding. I was like, who's getting married?
Yeah, have you meditate on that.
I don't know. I was like, it's just the weirdest thing. Like, why would he say something like that? And I was like, who's getting married? I don't understand. But yeah, and he would tell me like different places. I was like, okay,
Interesting.
yeah, maybe he knows something I don't know. I don't know.
That sounds like something to make a notebook of, all of his little
Like to write it
profound
down.
thoughts. Yeah. See if
I'll
they
start.
all come
Yeah.
together. They might seem fractured, but then once you track them for a while, they start kind of making
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah. I'll do that. Yeah. It's just weird. Yeah.
Let's see. The South Node is making a trine to that Mars and Venus, so that brings people from our past back. It
Hmm.
could be this lifetime or a past lifetime, but it definitely brings back dreams and feelings and eh, of past matters of the heart. And
Hmm.
that can be painful. It asks us to try to transmute that negativity or pain
Hmm.
by facing it forward, not denying it or pushing it under. So, the full moon will bring up old emotional guck that we've tried to stuff down, and that can make it an emotional time. Um, so Pluto Mars has to do with war, uh, authority. And I had the weirdest afternoon. I have to share. It's a very good way to explain um, Pluto, Mars, Venus. In one afternoon, I work in a really large skyscraper building in the middle of downtown. And in one afternoon, there was the FBI on the premises in a sting operation, and I'll tell you more about that. And there was a lockdown of elevators due to a disgruntled employee of one of the tenants who had been fired. So, okay, now this is Pluto, Mars, Venus. You got money, you got guns, you've got destruction. I mean, so the FBI sting operation was related to one of the attorneys I work with represents a big bank,
Hmm.
and they had been defrauded by a man, and the FBI set up this attorney to lure that customer of the bank who had been defrauding them in to talk to them about his banking business, right? So we had FBI agents in our suite while he was on the phone with this guy who was on the highway on his way to him to meet him, and he was just running his mouth off about all of his business dealings, which was just fodder. It was just all the evidence of extortion and fraud that he had been doing. All the time, FBI agents standing right there, getting it all down, him not realizing it. He's driving down the highway, running his mouth, and it's just being recorded. So the attorney in our office was pretty nervous because, you know, he was helping them sort of like catch this guy or lure this guy. So that was going on. And then this mass email was coming to us about how it actually started yesterday, how there had been a theft event, is how they said it yesterday afternoon, that due to a security theft event, we've locked down the elevators. And the only way you could get up and down in the elevators was to use your parking garage card, which you don't usually have to do. This morning, it seemed like everything was normal. And then a few hours into the day, here comes this mass email again that says, okay, well, our theft security event has not ended. We are locking down elevators again. You know, have your card on you. So it was just so weird how within a 2 hour period, you have all of this Mars Pluto contention in one little spot on the globe, right? And I'm sure there's plenty of other spots, crazy stuff like that was happening. But that for me was a really good way to explain Mars, Pluto, Venus. It has the money, it has the authority, the deception, you know, the unconventionalness of it all in Aquarius. Very, very strange divergence of activity there.
Mm.
Very weird.
Yeah, that sounds like a freaking like episode of some sort, like a
It was
movie.
very, very weird. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And,
Did they ever catch that dude, by the way?
I left early.
Oh, fuck.
I was feeling a little nervous. I
Yeah.
have Jupiter at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So all this Aquarius stuff is kind of working on my Jupiter, which is in a part of my chart that represents security and home. So
Yeah.
this makes me nervous. That
Mhm.
Uranian kind of like electricity, can get very agitated and nervous over that. So
You
it
just wanna
makes
get the hell out of there and
Yes,
just
I wanted to get home, and then I told you about my neighbor falling and she was in the hospital, so I just needed to get to my safe
decompress.
space. Yeah.
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 Mhm.
So, yeah, that's pretty much
Well, that sounds like an exciting day.
yeah, it's an exciting
I mean, it
conglomeration.
wasn't, but it was like, the energy was, like,
Very
weird,
weird. Yeah.
weird.
Mars, Venus, Pluto in
Yeah,
Aquarius.
so
That's
I guess
very
if anyone has had a very similar, like, weirdness energy, then you're not alone. It's
You're
like
not
apparently
alone, and it the thing about Mars, Venus move very quickly. So by Tuesday, they're going to be past that Pluto and change signs. So
okay.
I'm thinking just the sort of the way it's bundled up on the full moon has made it a little more intense because things tend to get a little more intense during a full moon.
Mm,
Right.
interesting.
And then I think I already mentioned by March, in a couple of weeks, I can't believe March 10th. Time is just ticking by, right? We'll have the Pisces new moon. So right now, our full moon is opposite Pisces. And then in a couple of weeks, we'll have the moon in Pisces under a new moon.
Mm,
So, lot of very spiritual things going on, and just meditate on the Vestal Virgins, that purity of the flame, and keeping it simple. I mean, that's what Virgo really wants. It's mutable earth. It wants to keep it simple,
mhm.
keep it logical, keep it organized. Everything has its place. That's the desire. It's a little challenging under some of these aspects, but that doesn't mean we can't strive for that sort of center, the solar plexus center of our power.
Yeah. So now that you all know, then, just don't, like, I guess, take it to heart or just, like you say, just be flexible until Tuesday.
Yeah, the plan, if you try to really pin down exact plans, um, you might get a little frustrated under this energy because there's a certain fickleness going on.
Mhm.
So, kind of a benign analogy would be, you know, you have a wedding planned for outside and a storm comes in and your plan B is to move it inside. That kind of It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to spoil your plans. It just may alter achieving what that plan is. And
Mhm.
sometimes those diversions, getting another way to the same plan, actually puts us in a better place.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like you have like this vision that it's supposed to be like X, Y, and Z way, but
Right.
actually, this alternate way is actually probably the best
Right.
or for the best.
That's exactly the lesson right now.
Mhm.
And yeah, and just to embrace the adversity, instead of kind of feeling defeated by it or um, upset about it, to try to embrace it and see, well, how can I make whatever that plan was benefit from this change, or
Mhm.
from the alternate view. It could be simply internally your perspective, how you're looking at something.
Well, I can say that. Like, I was actually thinking a lot prior to us going live, but it's like for personal reasons. And yeah, so I'm gonna be meditating on that. Um, yeah. So yeah, just I guess go with the flow, guys. Don't make any hard decisions, I guess.
Yeah, and keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple, and then by the time we get into like the new moon,
Yeah.
then I don't know. I think it gets even more like
It
I
gets
think it loses because Virgo is so grounded, but then Pisces is the opposite.
opposite, right.
And it's like, "Oh my god." Like
Well, and the thing about the Pisces new moon really helps with that psychic element, right?
Mhm.
So the more aware we can become of exercising that part of your mind that is psychic ability. And we've
Mhm.
talked about some of those exercises. You're pumping gas. Guess what numbers you're going to fall on? Or your phone rings. Don't look at caller ID, but just in your mind, try to guess who is that calling. So
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
psychic ability in your mind is just like another muscle, and it is enhanced by using it and exercising it. And that is really what this year is about, is embracing our own intuition and instincts, and learning our lesson about not letting third parties dictate our decisions.
I
That
think that that's where you were talking about agriculture and about, like, pharmaceutical stuff and then maybe potentially, like, try to decalcify, so we can see more. But, I feel that, because of the suppression and going back to, like, the Antarctica thing because there's, like, several different operations that are
right,
going on, and so, one of them is obviously Operation Mockingbird,
right,
controlling, like, the media and, feeding information to people and, kind of like
program,
yeah, the programmed, information, and so, um, I guess, this is actually really good. I mean, it sucks. That's what it feels like, it sucks, but, um, I feel like we get to learn from it, in the next couple weeks about the experience that we're going through right now.
and the more people in tune or intuit to that,
Mhm.
the better as a collective we get beyond it and in a better
Mhm.
space. Because really, Aquarius is about our freedom. It's about not being suppressed by authority
Mhm.
and manipulated. So,
Right.
this year is about shaking loose the chains that bind, trusting your instincts, and, not being guided or misled by third parties with other agendas that do not have your best interests at heart.
Mhm.
It's hard because we're kind of been programmed for all our lives about what we're supposed to do, think, and feel. And now this year, with all of these very profound astrological signatures, it's it's just up to yourself to figure out what is your intuition telling you. And
Mhm.
that's hard. It's hard to trust that what you're feeling intuitively is on the money, on the spot. It's hard. It's really hard. You you can just take it a day at a time and not get too overwhelmed. And Virgo loves a list. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by a lot of different things, write that list down and just methodically try to address each one at a time as best you can. I'll tell you something that I've done for the new year is I wrote down a list of all my debts, and I have it in front of me. I have them in order of the smallest debt to the largest debt. And the whole concept of, you know, paying that smallest debt off, taking the money you use to pay it, applying it to the next debt, and just try to methodically chip away at, it gives me stress to have a lot of debt. So I got to do something about it. Well, the only way to do something about it is to write it down, get it in front of you, and methodically try to just chip away a little bit at a time. And you can get very overwhelmed, or you can just stick to the program, and not be swayed by all of these sort of wastes of money, really, that get thrown in front of us, or scare tactics that you need this or you're going to not have that, and just know in yourself that you have what you need.
Mhm. I still have that wheat berry and those beans from back in COVID days.
Yeah.
I haven't had a plot of land to replant some of those wheat berries, but
Yeah.
I have a supply. But I don't know. I think they're supposed to last as long as it's sealed in the container, so I think I'm good. I'm afraid to open it up to see like if it's.
Something recently was talking about storing seeds in the freezer, not the
Mhm.
refrigerator, that the refrigerator gets too humid, but in the freezer, there can stay a long time.
Mhm.
I have just boxes of seeds, like where, a plant will have seed pods that I want to keep. I have a cardboard box in my utility room, and that's where they go. I don't have any special process. And,
Uh-huh.
you know, only the strong survive around here.
Yeah. 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 Sounds good.
Well, I brought out the Fate Shifters Astrology Tarot for tonight.
Okay. So let me see what is in my stash here.
It's kind of a fun deck. I was thinking, what was I thinking? Fate, there's a lot of that South Node aspect, brings in a lot of that feeling of destiny. And whoops. What just dropped down when I said that? Venus. Ah, destiny of Venus.
Well, I think I'm gonna go with this particular deck. This is like a goddess deck. It has different goddess, and
Oh, the
you come
Vestal
up.
Virgins.
Yeah, Vesta
Yes.
is actually in here. So yeah, I'll just
Nice.
go with this and see what comes through.
Nice. Yes. So we're going very spiritual with our card pulls on Virgo full moon.
Yeah.
That sounds like a plan. What is
Okay.
fated? What is your soul calling you to do?
I
How do
don't
you
know.
purify your soul during the Virgo full moon?
I already took my salt bath
You
or
did?
salt shower because I did a scrub. So
Nice.
I already scrubbed myself today.
I had a pedicure the other day,
Oh yeah, look. For Aries, I have Lakshmi, bright future. Stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine.
and I have the Page of Wands.
Okay. So if you're playing it small, I don't know. So the Page of Wands is like, youthful energy also.
Yeah, and creative energy.
Mm-hmm. So Aries, if you're worrying, kind of like a Virgo,
Yes.
that's okay. Everything is gonna be okay. So everything is bright, and Lakshmi is a very, um, I guess, Lakshmi is the goddess that handles money, which is a very Venus-like.
Yeah.
And plus, we had
And
the two
Page
elements.
of Wands makes me think about, doing something you loved as a child, reinventing something from your youth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it. So don't worry, be happy.
That's right. Don't worry. Be happy. That was the song.
That actually sounds like the thing to put on if,
Yeah.
things are going down south. All right, so next we have Taurus.
Yeah. A lot going on in Taurus.
Ooh. Well, here we are. This is perfect.
Ten of Wands.
And I have Kali, and it says endings and beginnings. The old must be released so that the new can enter. So it's time for you to let go of your burden.
My fortune cookie saying on my desk says you have to face the darkness before you can see the light.
Mm-hmm. And do you see Kali has like a third eye? And you
Yeah.
were talking about like opening up your pineal gland.
Yeah.
And then there's this lotus flower, and look, I think that's the solar eclipse.
I was going to say, there you go. You got your eclipse.
Or is that the
And
yeah, solar eclipse, right? Or is because
yeah.
it's a lunar? No, solar looks like solar.
And the lotus flower, an
Mm-hmm.
opening of the Kundalini.
Yeah, and also like surfacing, like coming up from the like old, and making like something new. Um, so
And
yeah.
Ten of Wands is completion of some cycle.
So Taurus, if you're stubborn to end something, maybe it's time to do it so you can have like this new beginning because there's something new that is trying to enter into your life. But you might have some difficulty because of this energy. But once you're ready to let go, then the new will come through.
Yeah. You've worked hard, obviously.
Mm-hmm. So that's actually.
So Alicia says her Virgo placement is Venus and Mercury. So I'd be interested in knowing how picky is Alicia about her lover. Virgo, Venus and Virgo, Mercury and Virgo. That's
God. Yeah,
that might
that's
be
a hard one, honey.
challenging a little bit with perfectionism there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There could be other aspects that loosen that up, though.
Yeah, it really depends on your chart.
What do we have? Gemini.
Yeah.
Gemini and the Virgo full moon. Oh, so I have for Gemini the King of Wands.
And I have two cards. I have Rhiannon and Dana.
Hmm.
Sorceress and High Priestess. Wow, look at that. So let me see here. For the sorceress, it says you are a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. Okay. And also with the high priestess, you have divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teaching. So that's really interesting with this Gemini energy. It's the high priestess and sorceress. Like that is,
And the king, and a king.
yeah, and the king is the one that's going to possibly, take action and do something about this divine knowledge.
Got a very luxurious clothing there too.
I know, the king has that leopard cape or what it looks like, leopard
And
cape.
the red gown, vitality,
Mhm. And then
gold.
we have the crown jewels over here.
Gemini, this might be kind of a good social full moon for you.
I was getting this magical thing. I don't know. I mean, this is kind of like maybe the Piscean energy that I'm picking up. So maybe between now and to the new moon, um, maybe you're onto something here.
I think
Um,
you are.
yeah,
For
especially
two
like,
things, Gemini has duality, so maybe it's a set of two.
yeah, I mean, because I see the two came out.
Yeah.
Ah, very interesting. Oh, look. Do you see the sorceress? It looks like she has like a wedding veil.
Yeah. And the
Huh.
horse is power.
Maybe if you want to propose to someone
Yeah.
and you've been thinking about it, it would be like on the leap day.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Dana was my brother's middle name.
You know what? Like back in the day, Dana was like a man's name.
Mhm.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I knew someone that was named Dana too.
Yeah. I
Oh,
like
that was a man. Yeah.
Alicia says her son is in Leo. I'm a Leo too. This has been a challenging week for Leo.
Yeah, it's been a little bumpy, but to me it feels like, well, it ain't nothing that you haven't been through.
Right. We'll get through this too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like the worst.
Right.
It's not easy though, but it'll be all right.
Teaches us our resilience.
Mhm.
So Cancer, Cancer.
Oh, Artemis.
Oh, I like Artemis.
Yeah, it's the guardian here.
This is the Knight of Wands.
Okay, the fire energy. So mine says, you and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected. So, Cancer, you have maybe you're the guardian or someone is guarding you, but someone looks like they're coming towards you with that Nine of Wands energy. So,
Yeah,
um,
very
everything's gonna be,
fast.
yeah, you're protected. I feel like maybe there's someone who's there to rescue you. I don't know.
And there's the eternal flame at the hearth being,
Hmm. Yeah, I remember you telling me about this story of Artemis. I forgot what the dare meant.
that is
Well,
gentleness.
oh, gentleness. Oh, okay.
Gentleness is, the deer brings us the message to be gentle with ourselves and others.
Mm. So, Cancer, be gentle to yourself, okay?
Yeah, do a little self love, a little nurturing. All that
Mhm.
nurturing you give to others, try to keep some for yourself.
Yeah, but do you see like Artemis? Okay, I don't know who Artemis is pointing the arrow at, but here comes Knight in shining armor coming towards
Looks
your
like
rescue.
she's shooting for him, doesn't it?
Yeah, she's like, get your ass away from me. Like,
So Artemis is the virgin huntress.
uh-huh.
So she was not all that friendly to
Yeah, it sounds like she's
suitors.
very defensive, but so just open up. There's someone that's coming towards you. That's what it looks like. Be gentle. Don't be rough.
Yeah. Let's see. Cancer can be kind of maudlin. So
Mm-hmm.
South Node aspects, someone from the past.
Comes back.
Yeah, Cancer might feel like, uh,
Like you are. Like,
yeah, yeah. Don't bother coming back.
yeah. That's funny. Oh.
I think about my ex-husband. Yeah, he was a triple Cancer, Sun, Moon, and rising
Oh.
in Cancer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't bother coming back. Yeah,
That would be weird if
just
if he
don't.
start resurfaced after all this time.
It would not be weird. That would be not good.
Okay.
Unless he brings back all the money he took.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, bear
Oh,
gifts. Not
so
even that would get him far, I don't think. So for Leo, I have the Lovers card.
oh, and I have Green Tara, and this says start delegating. And let's see if we can focus. Ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself.
Oh, good.
Oh, so okay,
That's
maybe have a decision to tell somebody to start doing your part. I don't know. Mm. How is it in your corner?
I was just trying to think.
Is there like any tasks that you probably need to delegate to someone or
I need to make my list of tasks.
oh, you know what? This could be about like the lady that you were talking about. Ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. And maybe you're dealing with that other lady. She's a Leo too, right?
Yes.
So
Yes. I have kind of abdicated hospital duty. I'm not going to go do that's,
everything.
yeah,
That lady, the caretaker, can do her job. You know, it's not
right.
like your job to do that.
And the family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, family's there too.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess ask Green Tara to kind of help out.
Just keep things sort of surrounded in light, I guess. The guardian
Mm-hmm.
angel here for the lovers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like protection from above. So, interesting.
Yeah. Any kind of interest I would have anywhere along the way would, there are third parties. So a lot of times the lovers has to do with that.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, it is kind of a rough energy.
It is.
Just hope for the make it until Tuesday.
That was the name of a band, Till Tuesday.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right.
I went to high school with her, Amy Mann.
Oh,
And
okay.
in high school, she was probably one of the shyest people you'd ever know in your life. But her brother was in the drama club.
Mm.
And you would have thought he would have gone on to big stardom. And
It was the
it was the
sister.
quiet sister. Yeah. She was a very nice girl. Very, very nice.
Mm. Well, I do have this for Virgo.
Virgo full moon, 6 of Swords.
Oh, wow, Virgo. I don't know how to pronounce this. Mau, Mother Earth. You
Oh,
are called
yeah.
upon to help with environmentalism.
Yeah, that's perfect for Virgo. This might be take a trip to the beach to clean up or to the river bank and clean up some sort of humanitarian effort.
Yeah, or cast a net and collect all the trash in the water. I don't know.
I recently saw that documentary about the young men that have turned all the plastic they got out of the ocean into beach towels.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a nice way to recycle.
Yeah. Maybe
Hmm.
during the full moon, take a little short trip near the water.
Yeah, I'm getting like go outside
Yeah.
and ground to Mother Earth and get away from the chaos and go into calmer waters.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like this is a Virgo full moon. Like
Been kind of emotional. Yeah.
they might be having it pretty tough
Yeah.
around this
And
time.
very much so. Yeah.
Yeah, so you probably need to ground yourself.
I'm trying to
Hey.
think. Any Virgo? You have the some Virgo in your chart.
Yeah, I'm a Virgo rising.
Virgo rising.
Mhm.
I was gonna say I don't know a Virgo sun that I'm aware of.
Oh, well, I know a good number of those. Like,
I wonder how they're doing right now.
I don't know. Maybe I should call my mama and see what's going on. I
Oh,
just know
okay.
recently she's been going through this real estate issue, and the tax people came to get
Oh,
her, and they served a warrant out for her because
oh my.
apparently the people who bought the house. Since they didn't buy the house completely, my mom is still responsible for the taxes on the house.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know that, you know. We assumed that they bought the house, they would assume taxes, but that wasn't the case, and so she had to end up paying taxes. But the people who bought the house can't afford the house,
Right.
so right now they're trying to find people to buy the house, and if not, they have to like fork it over.
Right.
So my mom's in this conundrum or whatever, this little dilemma. She wants to go back to Korea, but there's this house that they're stiffing her with. Like,
Right.
and both me and my brother, we don't live in North Carolina anymore. And so um that's another issue. Like, then they're like, and they have a house in Korea, like a temporary, uh, like an apartment. And so they don't know what to do. And plus, she went to the hospital and she has a hearing problem now. Yeah, honey.
I know
Issue.
a good attorney in North Carolina if she needs one.
She has one, but I'm open if you know if they do a good job.
He's young. Usually the young ones are more
Go getters.
attentive. Yeah.
Hmm. Interesting. Oh yeah, just let me know after the live.
Okay.
Yeah. So for Libra, we have Bast.
I have the Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, interesting. Well, this is independent, and it says your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. And we have the wheel. Geez,
Wow.
maybe you're free to, I don't know, manifest all that you desire.
What goes around comes around.
I think it's your turn to reap the benefits. You see that we have like two kitties right next to Bast here.
Yeah.
To you know what? I didn't tell you. I was about to get a kitty cat.
Oh,
Yeah.
animal.
Um. So the cat that I was trying to get is called a Russian Blue,
Yeah.
and it's a short-haired like gray kitty with like orange eyes, or they have like orange or green eyes or something like that. But the lady, she said I was a good fit, but she just didn't contact me again. It was the weirdest thing. I don't know. Is that, does that apply to me about things not going my way?
Well, how do you think Luna would get along with a kitty?
I think they would be a comical pair.
Okay.
Luna needs company. That's why I'm getting it. But also, Ethan had voiced his opinion that he wanted a cat. And I'm like, wow. But
Right.
The problem is that both of my boys are allergic to cats.
Not good.
No, but this cat is hypoallergenic. So, yeah, interesting. Anyway,
Well, if it's meant to be, it'll come back around. Maybe she had another family situation to deal with, or who
yeah.
did the cat belong to that she was trying to place?
It was her kitty. She raised it since a kitty. It's
Yeah,
9 years old. But the reason why she's giving it away is because she's traveling a lot for work and she can't take care of it. Yeah, that's why. And I'm like, well, I'm willing. I'm here all the time, you know. And that's why she said it would be perfect. But I've sent her several emails since then, and I haven't heard back. So, yeah, I'll just take it like what you say. If it's meant to be, it will be. But
I kind
you
of get
know,
the feeling like that's really hard for her to let go of.
that's what I thought too. And I wanted to say if she needed some bonding time before she would let him go, I was totally okay with that because I was the same way with Teddy, which was my first pug.
Yeah,
And Teddy was only like a year old, and then I gave him away, and I it was the hardest thing. I was crying. I was walking him. Like, it's the last time. I'm gonna walk you in under the moon. It was hard, and I asked the new owners if they could send me pictures of him. Like I would still would like to get pictures and see how he's faring with his new family because they had other pugs and
right,
Teddy was a loner, like he didn't have like another pug and I
right.
knew he was going to a better house, with a lot of like space to play in and the guy had two other pugs and he was going to a good place, but without attachment I had,
Yeah,
it's hard.
it's
So,
natural.
yeah, but yeah, I'm sure Teddy's doing well. So, anyhow, all right. Next, we have Scorpio. Sorry, Scorpio.
The Virgo full moon in Scorpio. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, Leap day, the moon will be in Scorpio opposite Jupiter and squaring Mars. So leap day for Scorpio might be kind of interesting.
Well, I have something here, and I have Mother Mary, and it says, expect a miracle. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. So maybe you have to sit out and think about this, and not do anything.
Rest.
Mm-hmm. And I know Scorpios can overthink things too. But Mother Mary's here.
Yeah.
So you have to have faith. Don't be a pessimist. Try to be optimistic.
Slow down, I guess.
Especially if you feel like you can't trust the situation or you just don't know where things are going. Um, I don't know, just meditate and open up your third eye a little bit more.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah.
Trust your instincts. Scorpion instincts are right on the money.
Mm-hmm. So it'll be okay, Scorpio, whatever you're thinking.
Yeah.
So next we have Sag. I know that Sag energy has been really interesting lately. Hmm. I have Butterfly Maiden, Transformation.
Queen of Wands.
Oh wow. So
Sag has got it going on.
I know, and there's Kitty, right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
The
It says you
sunflower.
yeah, it says you are experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. Oh, So maybe it's about using your intuition about this change. Um, and then there's that energy over there. Like, I don't know, maybe you're feeling good, smelling good. Maybe this is like getting a pedicure, like you're talking about. Like,
I mean, this is very like creative and positive and very uplifting for Sag.
mm-hmm.
Doing well.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually really good energy, and the maiden is like fresh,
Yeah.
young energy, no matter what age you are. You know, it's really new energy here. But whatever it is, it's going to be good. Oh, interesting. The
Interesting.
the the wings over here, it has like all the different colors. It feels like of the chakra system, so you should be feeling really balanced to go through this change, and it's very positive. So it's actually good.
Yeah. In control. Sag is in control,
Mm-hmm.
sitting in their truth. And that's a very, it's similar to Uranus in that they want to be free. You know, it's a freedom fighters are a Sagittarius,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
seeking spiritual fulfillment and
I just feel like I don't know. It just feels good overall. So whatever that is for you, it feels fresh and brand new. Like
Sag might be doing the best under this full moon so far. What do you think?
yeah, because I've been seeing Sagittarius energy lately, and it's very positive. You know.
Hmm. Aries and Gemini too were very
Let's see here.
Capricorn, a workaholic. What are you going to do for the? This would be a trine to the Capricorn sun or moon or rising. It's very positive.
Hmm.
You have the Six of Cups.
Oh wow. I have white Tara, and it says sensitivity. You are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, and situations and chemicals. Hmm. Sensitive to your past. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, maybe you're just overall being extra sensitive. Um, I would say trying, because I know Capricorns are very hard on the outside, but on the inside,
very spiritual and sensitive.
you
This is
can,
very sweet energy right here.
hmm like very touchy about past. It could be about children too. Um,
Past karma.
hmm Like in your depiction, there's a gentleman off in the distance.
Yeah,
Do you
I
see
see
that?
that. Yeah,
Can you see that up close? Like, is he looking towards the kids or away?
away. He's looking at that tower.
Oh, with the bell tower?
Yeah,
Maybe he's looking at the time.
maybe this is a past life regression, and he's the little boy in this picture remembering someone.
Hmm. So maybe you may be sensitive to a past energy.
That South Node aspect.
Mm-hmm.
South Node trining Mars and Venus. So this could definitely be a relationship from the past coming up for Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
And sensitivity might mean, you know, compassion or empathy for those feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it feels very endearing, especially with the
Yeah,
flowers and white taro is sitting on a lotus.
yeah,
So that's like wisdom. Um, so yeah, it's, Mother Tara is actually In Buddhism, there's 21 Taras. So, and it's also like many forms of Tara. So Tara is known as a mother figure.
Hmm.
So, yeah. So I guess it could mean a whole bunch of things, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but
Definitely
yeah,
something I
I
think.
think you might be sensitive up until next week, and then you'll be as hard as a rock. Yeah, you might be feeling it, I guess.
Yeah.
It'll be all right though. So next we have Aquarius.
Yeah, Aquarius has got a lot going on with Pluto and Mars and Venus all clustered up there this during this lunation. And I have the sun.
And look at this. I have Isis, past
Well,
life. Yeah, the situation involves your past life memories.
pretty intense here for Aquarius.
Yes, there's something that you're seeing. So it's really interesting, with this past life stuff. So maybe there's a lot that's coming up for Aquarius that needs to be addressed.
Well, I tell you, a good reference to study on past lives is Edgar Casey's work.
Mm-hmm.
He did a lot about reincarnation and connecting what's going on for someone here with what their past life might have been. And this warrior, this guy is like that Mars warrior.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to look at this winged Isis energy. Isis, uh, isn't that the underworld Isis, or
No, Isis was the,
is that Egyptians?
yes, and she was trying to remember whose wife.
Hades.
Isis. No,
Isis
you're
is
thinking of Demetra and Persephone.
hmm.
All right, so Great Mother Isis, the goddess of healing and magic, known in Greece as Isis, and Egyptian Aset. It translates to Queen of the Throne. Represents love, creation, motherhood, and fertility. So she's kind of like a Venus energy.
Mm,
Oh, Osiris, that was her
okay.
husband. Yeah.
Is that the one that looks like a alien dude? Like like he looks green, blue?
Um, she used her magic to give him new life.
Mm.
And from then on, he was considered the ruler of the land of the dead or the underworld,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought it was like, like
Hades.
yeah.
Osiris was said to grant people life after death in the underworld, and her wings symbolize power and mourning.
Hmm. Very much like this energy.
Aw,
You hear her?
I do.
Oh, dang it.
She sounded cute. She sounded like she wanted a biscuit.
So you said that, and now she's going for it. This
Ah,
is the Cancer. See, I
yeah,
think she knows human language. To be honest,
yeah.
yeah, like you can't get past her, and so it's like, yeah, look at that. See, I knew it. All right,
Isis
Pisces.
and Osiris were considered to be a great love.
Well, then that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So Aquarius, I guess you got a good thing
Prepare. Yeah. Prepare for
going.
life changing, great
Past
luck.
life lover, reincarnated.
Yeah. Callie had it. She knew who it was. I was drawing a blank.
Yeah, me too. I was like, I need help on this one.
All right, Pisces. We got a
Okay,
lot going on with Saturn in Pisces and
I have this.
Sun.
Ixchel.
I have Knight of Cups.
Oh,
Medicine
well,
Woman.
yeah. You are a channel for divine healing power, giving that cup of love or elixir or some
Yeah.
castor oil.
Yeah. Oh, God. Just a spoonful of that.
Oh, looks like the whole cup.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Definitely looks like he's going to be sharing that with others.
Yeah, Pisces. So maybe you're healing and being in your divine mystical power over there.
Yeah.
Um, you have the antidote.
Empathy.
Mm-hmm,
Having empathy for others. And try to help them heal.
mm-hmm. So that's actually pretty good,
That's
Pisces.
a nice entry. Yeah, nice energy there. She sounds so cute.
Yeah, she is. And then here, let me go get her out because she has been locked up for a while.
Nice. Very nice.
Ew, what did you throw up? Oh, gross. She
Uh
threw
oh.
up. Honey,
What?
uh, are you nasty?
Of
Do you
course.
see that?
No,
Are you nasty? You see her on the floor down there?
I don't.
You don't?
Mm.
Here she is. All right, honey.
Luna, have you been lonely? Your little chirp sounded kind of lonely.
That's her, like, save me!
Yes.
Save me!
Yes.
That's her.
Yes, Luna. Yeah. So, yeah, it's hard being you, isn't it?
Well, I mean, she does kind of lounge around. It's a hard life.
Hard life. Yeah.
It's a hard pug's life. And then say hello, honey. Hello. Not me. Ew, I don't want to, because you got throw up breath and I got to wipe your face.
Oh,
I think maybe it was just like, because I gave her like a dried jerky.
yeah.
So maybe it was too dry and she kind of gobbled it up. And
Oh, I've got one. I got a gross small animal story for you. My
okay.
Leon, I was walking him and he starts doing the heaving number.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, he heaved up this, it was a corduroy tail of a toy horse, which I did not know that he had eaten.
Oh my God.
And I'm so grateful that he was able to bring it up himself and it not be a vet visit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he
Mm-hmm.
brings up this, it was about 3 inches long, like thick corduroy. And he takes a couple of steps and he starts heaving some more. And I was like, oh no, what else is going to come up? But he got it all up. But I was so grateful that he did that on his own and it wasn't like a vet
Lodged
visit.
in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So
that's.
I threw the horse away
Oh
because he
no.
had legs too. So I thought, well, if you choose the tail off, he'll chew one of the other limbs off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's so cute. She knows it.
Yeah, she does. And whenever I take her out for a walk, she goes out with a little strut,
Uh-huh.
and then she shakes her little tail like a little peacock. Like I
Yeah,
don't know, like like a rattling sound.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, honey, because she's not fixed, and she's
Right.
probably smelling all the neighborhood dogs'
Yeah. Little
scent.
husky.
Leaving her mark too, and then she'll turn around, she'll smile at me, and like she did something good. I'm like, okay. Like, but yeah, she's cute. But she tries to get her way too, and plus she's really rowdy late at night because that's when I get off the computer,
Right.
and that's where she wants to play. But she's a ruffian because
Yeah.
she wants to chew on her rope. And I hate that because it's so slobbery and like I don't want to touch that. It's like it's time for bed. you know.
My dogs are funny. They have these short periods of activity running around and then they just conk out.
Yeah, that's the best part. It's like
Yeah.
y'all had enough.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, okay, love. Well, let me see here because I can't see the chat. Um. Oh, Osiris. Okay, yeah. I hope so because I'm hopeful it feels in my favor. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, if anyone has like any questions for Sunny, speak now or forever hold your peace. And if you guys are interested in booking a reading with Sunny, you can head on over to linemountainhealing.com and also check out her Etsy shop. I don't know if you've updated any kind of new items and
I
things
did
like that.
put some nicer rings up that came from an estate of a lady who loved rubies and emeralds.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Quite
I've
a few.
been like into green lately. I don't know if it's because of March. But besides that, it's like I've been into like the color like vermilion green.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why, but yeah, I'm liking that color these days, like this green color. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody have questions for Sunny?
So, writing down detailed plans for the future and then be still and allow the universe to set it in motion, the people and places that bring our plans into reality. Stop worrying and get out of our own way. That's the message for the Virgo full moon.
Sounds like Virgo advice for Virgo anyway.
Worry, 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 worry.
Yeah, Alicia is asking any guidance for her this week. Um, well, I mean, I guess generally we were talking about get out of your own way.
Yes.
Um,
Make a list.
yeah, make a list.
Could be a
Um,
list of to do, it could be a list of debts to attack, it could be a list of places you want to visit. Just make a list of what comes to your mind.
yeah, I
It's
have a list. It's posted up here on a sticky note, but it's more like a reminder, like a intention setting. So
right.
yeah, I have
It's
that.
cathartic to go through that exercise of writing in ink on paper your thoughts. There's some magic to that.
I do have a book. It's 555 manifestation techniques where you write down, I guess, like 55 times a day, five things, like five times in a week. And it's the power of manifesting is by writing it down, thinking about it, and setting your intention. Um, yeah. So if you guys are interested, that's actually over on my Etsy shop. Um, yeah. So,
Nice.
but this is a full moon, so it would be like. setting intentions, getting rid of anything of past energies and like allowing new energies to come through, but
Doing something pampering.
yeah, it may be totally something that wasn't on your list of things to do, but do it anyway.
Yeah,
You might go out shopping, you're like, well, that wasn't on my list. Oh, well, freak it, go for it.
could be make a grocery list of healthy foods.
Mhm, mhm. I haven't been eating healthy lately. I admit.
Either.
I actually indulged in a cobbler pie a few days ago, and I think I'm going back for a full one. Like,
One piece was not enough.
no, that one piece was like, no, you need more. So I'm
We
guilty.
have had a lot of sweets around the office this week. There were birthday cakes brought in. Um, I guess stuff left over from Valentine's. There's been a candy bowl full of Valentine. I just today I noticed I was like because they brought in lunch for us and it was like God, there's been a lot of cake around this place for too long.
You should have gave it to the guy that was like running from the FBI. Hey, while you're out of here, have some cake.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I think that's a survival thing. Like a friend of mine, she posted that actually on her Facebook today. It's like, yeah, there's gonna be like a snowstorm. Make sure you bring cake.
Oh, right, right.
Like cake is everything. You
There was
really have time to breathe. Oh, working and being a mom. Yeah, me too, honey.
was
Being a
it
mom ain't
Marie
easy.
Antoinette that said let them eat cake?
Yeah, they should have had some like cake. Just saying. But you know what? Cake don't sound bad. Just saying. I was gonna I bought like a box of cake, like butterscotch cake last week. I was going to.
Yeah.
And then I saw like something else that was pre-made and I put the cake box in place of where the pastries for somebody else to take. But yeah, I was gonna cook a full-on cake last week because I
Wow.
was craving sweets. And I've been gaining a lot of weight lately, so it's not good.
It was Marie Antoinette. And the queen's response upon being told that her starving peasant subjects had no bread because cake is more expensive than bread. The anecdote has been cited as an example of Marie Antoinette's obliviousness to the conditions and daily lives of ordinary people. She was the one that said, let them eat cake.
Oh, she was definitely what Pisces or something. Like really?
There's
Let
this
them-
new place that's opened up called Nothing Bunt Cake,
Oh,
and
we
they
don't have
have
that.
like these little tiny cakes.
Uh-huh. Oh.
I mean, they're little, little.
Uh-huh.
And
Mm.
someone gave me one. I think it was I had an anniversary, a work anniversary in the fall, and a couple of the girls gave me this bag, and inside was this little mini lemon bundt cake. And it
Ooh.
was the most delicious lemon. Oh my God, it was delicious. It was delicious.
That sounds so good. Jeez. See now I'm like on this like pastry cake pie thing. Like I'm not gonna
I
lie.
is
I am
best.
not going to like be on my best when it comes to because I gotta get that this weekend. Like,
You remember that movie with John Travolta called Michael?
yeah, uh-huh.
Girl, Andy McDowell. She wrote a song about pie, and they're in that restaurant, and all they order were pieces of pie. I thought that was
Oh,
so cool because pie really is like the perfect food.
oh, especially key lime pie. I like that's one of my favorites. And then obviously there's like cheesecake but that's not a
love
pie.
pumpkin. I really
But
like pumpkin pie.
I like pumpkin pie and I like the fruit pies, like any kind of fruit.
Blueberry and
Apple pie,
yeah.
basic. Um Rhubarb.
Oh yeah, strawberry and rhubarb.
Yeah.
Yum.
Like, oh god. Don't get me started. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
even
love
like,
French silk pie, that chocolate French silk
yeah, like the mousse
pie.
type pie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm. Anyway, girl, I think I'm hungry now.
I know. You're making me hungry.
I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I just had to share. I wasn't gonna be 100 on that Virgo diet. Like,
We'll start that next week.
yeah, like after the moon clears,
Yeah.
I'll be in my Pisces energy. Uh, but
Well,
anyway.
look, I hope everybody has a good, healthy weekend. Even if
Yeah.
it does include a little cake or pie, a little bit can't hurt, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll have a Pisces new moon in a couple of weeks and figure out where that's going to take us. We're
Yeah.
leading up to the big, big month of April.
Yeah.
Yeah, exciting.
Yeah. My friend is actually going to that eclipse event.
Nice.
But he's actually meeting his coworker there, which they live in different states.
Yeah,
And he's telling me how like weird it is that both of them are actually going to this event. It seems like it could be a positive thing, but eclipses are like not really.
triggers. Yeah.
Yeah, there could be like some like hello. It's really interesting. So,
Having no expectations is probably the safest way to.
well, he's not like deep into astrology or anything like that. So, I'll just like keep an eye out for that. But so far, everything seems honky dory,
Yeah.
But there's always that, well, of caution. Uh,
Well, you know, they call it the present because it's a gift, and we get in trouble when we're stuck in the past or worried about the future. So we just need to
mm-hmm.
focus right here, right now, where we are, and that we're okay and
Yeah, we're
grateful for that.
sounds like a good piece of advice.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They're
sounds
calling
good.
for some kind of crappy weather here, possibly like a snow mixture. Or
Oh,
might just be rain. I don't know, but it's kind of a cold rain.
it's been sunny here, but cold.
Nice.
Yeah.
It rained all day today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of
That-
gloomy.
That's our normal weather.
Yeah, not
But
too long we'll be doing the clocks and ringing in the spring. So just a
I've
few
noticed
weeks.
that the sun is coming in sooner.
It is. Yeah, I like that.
I do, but not the time. It's like,
Yeah.
no, no. Okay, sweetie. All right.
Well, I'm gonna get my little puppy dogs going, and we will reconvene in a couple of weeks and figure something out.
Yeah.
Um,
So just
and
let me know. I think basically our normal times pretty much is pretty um the norm,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But just let me know
I
around that
think so. I think the 10th is on a Sunday, so the Friday before would be the 8th, maybe.
8th. Okay,
Let's see
thank
if
you.
I have that right. Yeah,
Hmm? You
yeah.
hungry?
She's been exploring. She's out of breath.
No, she's out of breath because I'm like rubbing her head like this. I'm like, oh, stop.
She's ready for some bonding time.
If only you could see her face. She's like, you
Hard to
can't.
say no
Yeah,
to.
yeah. It's like, and she's all smiling.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to disappoint her, but she's like, keep smiling. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
Luna, stop.
She wants to play.
Oh god, yeah. Oh,
All
I,
right. Well, you all get on with your play. I'm going to get mine outside for a walk. I think there's a little weather window here where it stopped raining.
mm-hmm. Okay, so I guess we will see you next time. Thank you, Sunny, for
Yes,
being
we will
here with
catch up
us.
soon. And
Yeah,
everybody just chill and take it a moment at a time.
that sounds
We'll
good.
be
That's what I'm
fine.
gonna do. Okay,
Get
Luna.
you some fruit pie. Oh, that's so cute.
I know. It's
Oh,
just so weird because she has no neck and
yeah.
it's just a face. Like, it's so
It's such a cute face.
uh, anyway.
All right. Well, everyone take care and keep it between the lines, and we'll figure it out next time.
Alrighty.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Good night.
Okay. Bye. Good night. All right, sweetie. Say bye.